Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be using the Naldoni Marì flour. Look at this pizza. This is what that flour made. Absolutely fantastic. So what we need to be doing is we're going to be using this over a 48-hour proof, and we're going to be using it at 70% hydration, and it makes this fantastic looking dough. Look at that. That looks absolutely stunning. So just on this, it's 14% on the protein levels. I purchased this from Amato Foods in Manchester. The QR code, they give it a scan that'll take you through to Naldoni's website. So we need to weigh out 1 kilogram of flour. So these are big bags of flour as well. So we're weighing that out, and we're going to need 700 grams of water. Look at that, absolutely there it goes, spot on to the absolute number. 2 grams of yeast going in, and we need to give that a mix together. So once that's all mixed in, as always, we need to start to gradually add in the flour and mixing it all together. So the Marì Naldoni flour is specifically designed for 48-hour proofs at a low temperature, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing here today. Now, one slight variation in our normal recipe that we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a 24-hour bulk ferment in the fridge, and then after 24 hours we're going to be putting into the tubs in the pizza balls and putting them back in the fridge for a further 24 hours. So as you can see, it's mixing along really nicely. And just whilst I'm carrying on doing that, it's just time to say thank you all so much for the comments and the likes and the subscribing on our last video, which was the Caputo Manitoba flour. I'm absolutely blown away, and so is Oliver as well. Thank you so much for your support, and if you haven't done so already, as always, please consider subscribing to our channel. We've got a fantastic community coming together now. I'm absolutely loving the amount of comments that we're getting in there. So if you've got any comments or questions, please feel free to leave a comment. So just pouring a bit of flour onto the work surface. I've just saved a little bit for the mixing bowl after. Just pour that dough on top of the flour and the flour into the mixing bowl. Just get it scraped round, and that makes sure we get all that lovely dough and all that flour out of the bowl and there's no sticking on the sides. Pop that to one side, and then we need to mix and knead this for around 10 minutes. One thing I did notice is it did get a little bit sticky, but it wasn't too bad actually, to be fair, on the stickiness. It just required a bit of extra work, but all in all, a really fantastic flour to work with and to make some fantastic pizza dough with. And if you do get some stickiness on there, again, it's just a case of just slapping it onto the work surface, as you can see them doing there, and it just come round, and just applying a bit of pressure between your palms of your hand and the work surface also helps. So once that's done, just a case of just rolling it around and getting it all nice and smooth, getting all the lumps out. And that just makes sure that we get some really nice smooth dough. Now, we have featured Marì Naldoni flour before, and that was the 12-hour proof dough. So if you want to see that video, please look at the links in the description, and you'll be able to check out the very quick cold fermenting pizza dough for that one. So just making that into a nice smooth ball now. I'm going to cover that for an hour. So after the hour, it's time to add in the salt. Now look, we didn't need much of the dough scraper. Not much sticking there to the work surface. Looks absolutely brilliant. So just flattening that out now. And we're now going to put in the 25 grams of salt into there. I'm just going to use that folding technique as always, just to make sure that all that salt is in there. We've been asked a couple of times why we do this separate, and it's just to make sure that the yeast gets a bit of a head start onto the dough, and it's to make sure that the dough is active as well. So that's the last of the salt going on, and we'll just fold that in. And then it was just a case of a quick knead and mixing it all together, just making sure all them grains of salt are dispersed into the dough, and it lasted about 5 minutes. So you just need to mix and knead for a further 5 minutes. And that just, again, helps with the building up of the strength and the gluten in the actual dough itself. So just balling that back up now. That looks absolutely brilliant. And look how smooth that is. That looks pretty cool to me. So what we're going to do, get that floured mixing bowl back, and we'll put that bowl into there, and we'll cover with a shower cap. And then we're just going to let it rest for 1 further hour, just to let that salt and everything mix in together. So after the hour, that's what it looks like. Looks pretty good. And next off, of course, is we're going to now put it in the fridge for 24 hours. So in it goes into the fridge, bosh, done. So after 24 hours, we need to take that out. And then we're going to put this into some pizza balls straight away. So I didn't let this rest to get up to room temperature because I had no intentions of using the dough at this stage, because it's got another 24 hours to go. Okay, so let's ball it up. But before we do that, let's have a look inside. There we go. And as you can see, we've got a few bubbles on the top of there. That looks pretty good. Let's have a bit of a look at the structure. I'm pretty happy with that. So that's just after 24 hours, by the way. So we've got another 24 hours to go before we start getting to pizza time. But as you can see, there's plenty of strength in there. And it's very, very stretchy. So this flour is really, really strong. And it really does make a good, strong dough. And as you can see, because it's cold, it's quite difficult to snap as well. So each pizza ball is 230 grams. I'm using some Caputo Semolina flour there, just to help with the stickiness, but it wasn't excessively sticky to start off with. We'll just weigh that out. That looks good, 230 grams. So we'll just form that, a nice tight skin over the top on that pizza ball, and that looks pretty good. So it was really, really easy to form. This is uncut footage that we've got here. So nothing taken out, no trickery. This is literally how the pizza balls are formed. We'll put that into one of the tubs, just give that a rub around with the Semolina flour, and that just makes sure that we don't have any sticking later on. So yep, just knocking off any excess Semolina flour, and then we'll put it into the tub, and then we'll put the lid onto the top. And that looks pretty good. There we go. So these now need to go back into the fridge for a further 24 hours. So there they go. And then after 24 hours, this is what they look like. Just need to leave them out for a couple of hours just to come back up to room temperature. Pizza time coming up. Welcome to pizza time. So just take the lid off now. We're using this properoni today of pepperoni. Sorry about the camera angle, couldn't fit it all in. So the dough came nicely out of the tubs, and we got that on top of a bed of Semolina flour. I'm just pushing it out with our fingers, avoiding the edge so we get a nice crust when it comes out of the pizza oven. Wiping the excess Semolina flour away, and as you can see, it's nice and easy to work with this dough. That's stretched out into a nice pizza very, very quickly. Just make sure you pop some air bubbles on there if you get any, just stops any charring when it goes into the pizza oven. We're using the Mutti tomato sauce as always today, and we've got some Parmigiano, bit of grated mozzarella, and of course the pepperoni is going on. And it tasted fantastic, really, really nice. It was £3 from Tesco's, and we really, really enjoyed it. So onto the peel, just have a little bit of a reshape, and then we'll go off outside to put that in the Roccbox. So 400 degrees as always on the temperature. No wind today. Perfect pizza making weather. So this is not sped up. This is in real time. I know our subscribers and all the commenters have asked for, don't speed it up, Matt. Leave it in real time. So this is what we've done for you. And if there's any other suggestions or anything for the videos, you know, good or bad comments, please leave a comment. Tell us. It's your community, it's your channel as well, as much as it is ours. And without those comments, of course, we can't make the videos better for you. So, you know, please, if it's critical comments, they are welcome just as much as the ones that are praising us. So we'd give that pizza a 180. Look at that. That looks really, really nice. Another comment that we've had is saying that the pizzas don't fold in the middle. So personally, I actually like my pizza a lot more crispy than possibly some of our viewers do. But on this occasion, I'm going to make it a bit of a softer version for you. So I'm not going to leave it in the pizza oven quite as long. So what you'll notice in a sec is that this one will fold in the middle. So thanks for those comments saying it should fold in the middle. Get on to the chopping board. Let's have a look at that. So let's first off have a listen. Obviously, it's not as crispy, but it's not too bad. underneath. There you go. It certainly does a bit more fold in there, a bit more softer, less crispy. And then just opening it up. So I have to say, the Maria flour by Molino Naldoni was fantastic. Really, really highly recommend, especially if you're wanting to do long and cold proofed doughs and with high hydration as well. So there we go, just a couple of last pictures. That tasted absolutely fantastic. I really did enjoy it. I love making pizza with Oliver. It really, really is a pleasure. So if you did like this one, drop us a like, leave us a comment, and please consider subscribing. And all that remains to say is thanks for watching, and bye for now.